The DJI Osmo. Is it the perfect addition to your camera gear? Released in 2015, this 3-axis gimbal and Zenmuse X3 camera are available today for around £350. And considering that price point, you're getting a heck of a lot of gear for your money. It has a 12.4 megapixel CMOS 1/2/3 inch sensor, and that records video at 4K at 25 frames per second or 1080 at a whopping 120 frames per second. The video is recorded onto a Class 10 micro SD card and the slot is in the camera itself. It's a H.264 compression at a bitrate of 65 megabits per second. There's a 980 mAh battery that fits into the handle of the stabiliser itself. Now that battery is responsible for powering not just the camera but also the 3-axis stabiliser. DJI claim that will give you around 45 minutes of on time. In reality, it's slightly shorter than that though. The stabiliser is rock solid. In fact, I'd say it's buttery smooth, it never misses a beat. It also has handy ergonomic controls, including a quick access joystick, record buttons, and even a trigger for moving the camera through 90 degrees or 180 degrees quickly. And finally, in true DJI style, everything else is controlled through a mobile phone and the DJI app. Some people find that frustrating. I guess it's just a way of keeping the cost down on devices such as this. So let's look at the good bits of the DJI Osmo. And first up, it works, and it works incredibly well. It's a very quick to use stabilizer, as in you don't have to balance the camera each time you use it. So you literally get it connected to your phone and go, and for that, it's great. Next is the fact that you can record 120 frames per second on a camera that's this small on that lower budget. So those super slow-mo B-roll shots are now available to you even if you don't own a 1DX Mark II. It's pretty incredible. The stabilizer is so good I've listed it twice. It adds such a high production value to the film that you're working on that once you've got it, you kind of can't be without it. It's that good. So let's look at the bad points of the DJI Osmo. The app. DJI, please, please, please fix your software. In every DJI product that we've owned or tested or borrowed, the software is always the problem. Now, that's not to say that it doesn't work. It does. When it works perfectly. But when it doesn't work, it's the biggest pain in the ass you'll ever have. If you drop connection or put the camera into standby mode, then you'll often be there waiting for minutes to try and reconnect. You might have to close the phone, reconnect to Wi-Fi. It really is quite a laborious process. Now, when you're on a shoot that's time sensitive, or you're just trying to get an incidental shot that's happening in the moment, that's incredibly frustrating. Also, consider you've only got a 45-minute battery life and you have to have the device on to make the connection. You're eating into those minutes that you've got available to you. But very quickly, you'll probably find out that the battery will run out quicker than you would have ever anticipated. Which leads me to the next bad point, is the battery life itself. DJI claim that it's 45 minutes. In reality, it's probably closer to half an hour. And like I say, if you have any software issues in that time, your usable filming time is going to be reduced to something like 20 to 25 minutes. And the final bad point is the audio. The audio from the camera is complete garbage. Not just the microphone itself that records incredibly noisy, low gain audio. There's also an incredibly noisy fan on the side of the camera itself, which is obviously for heat. That gets picked up in the audio, which just means it becomes unusable. So if you were thinking that this may be your new vlogging camera, this may be your new A cam, don't, because the audio you get from it will just be unusable. Probably even with one of the on-body microphones you can get for it too. So you're resigned to using it for reference, using it for syncing, using it for silent shots. But for that, this camera is perfect. So there's plenty of shortcomings and it's far from a perfect camera. It's definitely not for beginners and it's definitely not an A camera, but as a tool for adding a huge amount of production value, and at that £350 price point, it may just be perfect. That's been my grab and go review for the DJI Osmo. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.